Good morning, students. How are you doing your study? I hope you all would be engrossed in your study. In the series of my online classes of English literature, today I would like to teach you a fiction named or entitled A Question of Trust. A Question of Trust, written by Victor Canning. So before I go ahead in detail, I would like you to watch and see carefully all the word meanings and chapter notes, detailed chapter notes given in the description box. So please do see all the word meanings and chapter notes given in the description box. Now let me tell you in what way I would continue my teaching. I would annotate the whole fiction in 3 sections. I will explain the whole story in 3 sections. The first section is about the main idea or theme, and the second section is about the detailed introduction of all the characters, persons involved in this story, and the third and last section will be about the annotation of the text, the annotation of the fiction, that means explanation of this story. I would start the first section of my teaching, that is the main idea or the theme of this fiction. So let's start. It is said that there is honor among thieves. What happens when one of the two persons working in the same profession deceives and tricks the other person? Here we will see that a young beautiful woman who is a smart thief tricks a 50-year-old meticulous thief. Meticulous thief means experienced thief. The most interesting part of the story is that this young woman, as a thief, very smartly, very cleverly prompts the well experienced thief to break up the safe of a house, and in this process of theft only the young woman gets benefit. Only the young woman gets all jewelry, while the well experienced thief is arrested and sent to prison. So this is the interesting part of the story, in which you see that a young woman, a pretty young woman, as a thief deceives and tricks another experienced thief, and the more experienced thief is arrested and sent to prison, whereas the young woman as a thief gets jewelry, gets a lot of benefit. Now I would like to come to the second section of my teaching, and that section is about the detailed introduction of all the characters involved in this story. So in this series, in this section, the first character is Horace Danby. He is the central character, he is the main character, chief character of this story, named Horace Danby. Horace Danby is about 50 years old. He is yet unmarried, but he lives with a housekeeper who looks after his health. He is usually very well and happy, but he suffers from hay fever in summer. Horace Danby is usually very well and happy, but he suffers from hay fever. Hay fever is a kind of allergy, and he suffers from hay fever in summer. That means he suffers from nose and throat allergy in summer. So in this period of summer season, his nose tickles and he sneezes frequently. Now, another point about Horace Danby is that by profession he makes locks. He is a locksmith. By profession, Horace Danby makes locks. His business of making locks is quite successful, and so he also has two helpers who assist and help him in the job of making locks. He is very much fond of reading rare and expensive books. So to say, he loves rare and expensive books. So this characteristic of Horace Danby is good and expected. This is a civilized habit in a person's life. This is his merit, but at the same time there is a bad and negative aspect of his life. What is his bad and negative aspect? Let me tell you. You will be surprised and interested to learn that Horace Danby is also a thief. Every year he plans carefully to rob a safe. He can break even the strongest locks using his tools and experience. In this way, every year he steals enough jewelry, money, which lasts for 12 months, and by this stolen wealth, by this stolen jewelry, by this stolen money, he buys rare and expensive books through some agent. So to say, he robs safe and steals jewels and money to fulfill his hobby of reading rare and expensive books. That is why in the text in your book, an apt description for Horace Danby is that he was good and respectable but not completely honest. The second interesting character is a young woman. There is a young woman dressed in red color. She wears red dress as given in the fiction, as given in the story. The young woman wears red colored dress. She is quite pretty, she is beautiful. She is also a thief. She is not a simple thief. She is a smart thief. She is so smart that she befools Horace Danby. She tricks him very cleverly, and this is intriguing. This is very much interesting to know all about how she tricks Horace Danby. While I will be narrating this story, you must be going through a little bit of suspense. Now the third character is an old woman. There is an old woman. She is 60 years old. She has grey hair. She is a sharp-tongued woman. She is in fact the mistress of the house owner. That means she is the wife of the owner of the house. Which house? The house in which a robbery was conducted. So this old woman is the wife of the house owner. In fact, her jewelry kept in her safe is robbed and stolen when she was far away in London, out of her house for some days. Now I would come to the third section, in which I will explain the whole story. I will annotate the whole story. So let's start. 15 years ago, Horace Danby had planned successfully in order to rob a house. This house was located at a place named Shotover Grange. So remember the name of the place, Shotover Grange, where the house was located. And Horace Danby had made plan to rob the safe of this house. So he had already seen and studied the house at Shotover Grange and its rooms, its electric wiring, its paths and its garden. That means to make his robbery successful, he had seen and studied all the things like electric wiring, rooms, paths and garden of that house. For a period of 2 weeks, 14 days in the month of July. He had also got information regarding the family of the house. He had come to know that the family, the owner of the house, was in London, and only 2 servants, only 2 housekeepers, only 2 servants were living in that house, while the family was in London. There were about 1,500 pounds worth of jewelry in the safe of that house. He had already collected this information. There were about 1,500 pounds worth of jewelry in the safe of that house. Horace had expected to get at least 5,000 pounds, enough to make him happy for another year. As I have already said, that every year Horace steals a house. So in this course, he was planning to rob this house. He had also thought of 3 interesting books. Horace had also thought about 3 interesting books coming up for sale in the autumn. He had also seen the housekeeper hang the key to the kitchen door on hook outside the kitchen. Here we must know that Horace had also read a magazine article in which the detailed information of all the rooms and picture of that house was given in the magazine article. So in these ways, Horace had collected almost all kinds of information of the house located at Shotover Grange. After Horace Danby had made complete plan of robbing the house. One day in the afternoon, he noticed that the two servants of that house had gone to watch film. So this was a better opportunity for him to make his robbery quite successful. With this intention, with this view, he carefully packed all his tools in a bag. He then hung this bag on his back and went out toward the house at sort of a Grange. He felt happy in spite of little tickle of hay fever in his nose. When he came near and close to the house, he put on his gloves. He was very clever, very wise thief. So he put on his gloves, took the key to the lock of that house. As I have already told you that Horace had already seen the two housekeepers or the servants hanging this key to the kitchen door on a hook. So with this key, using this key, he opened the door of that house. He was always careful not to leave any fingerprints. So he had put on gloves on his hands. In this way, he opened the door and entered the house. Inside the house, he first came across a pet dog. He first saw a pet dog. This small pet dog was lying in the kitchen. The dog suddenly started barking, as this is the nature of a dog. The pet dog, started barking. But Horace did not lose patience. As I said, he was a wise thief. Immediately, he called the dog by his name, Seri. The name of the dog was Seri. And Horace Danby had already known the name of the dog too. So very cleverly, he called the dog by his name, Seri, and at this calling, the dog became quiet. The dog became silent. Now Horace Danby saw that the safe was kept behind a poor painting. The painting was not so good. The safe was kept behind this poor painting in the drawing room. Also, in that drawing room, there were other pictures, other paintings. There were also books in the room. Then Horace began to wonder. Horace wondered for a moment whether he should collect pictures or books, but he thought books are better. Because he liked books. He loved to read rare and expensive books, as I have already told you. In the room, there was a flower pot on the table, in which there were flowers. Then Horace Danby felt his nose tickle. He gave a little sneeze. That means he began to sneeze, and then put down his bag of tools for the purpose of breaking up the safe. Now Horace Danby was planning to break up the safe using his tools. Then Horace Danby arranged all his tools. Actually, it was not difficult for him to break and open the safe, because he had lived with locks and safes all his life of 50 years. Then he went into the hall to cut the wire of the burglar alarm. Burglar alarm is a safety device installed in a house. This burglar alarm rings loudly when a thief or a burglar enters a house. So he disconnected the wire of this burglar alarm. Horace found that the flowers were hindering him, disturbing him in his work. As I said, flowers were kept on the table in the drawing room. Horace found that the flowers were hindering him, disturbing him in his work. So he covered his face with a handkerchief. It was at this very moment Horace suddenly heard a voice from doorway of the room. It was at this very moment Horace accidentally heard a voice from the doorway of the room. It was the voice of a young woman. She said to Horace, "What is it? A cold or hay fever?" Actually, this young woman had already heard Horace sneezing repeatedly. She was already present in the room. That's why she asked Horace, "Why are you sneezing? What is it? A cold or a hay fever?" The young woman added, "You had better see a doctor if you are serious about your work." Horace found the voice a little polite, but the voice was also firm and strict. As the young woman was already present in the house, Horace was afraid of her. He feared to think that the woman must be the owner of the house. But Horace patiently and cleverly answered the questions asked by the woman. The woman asked, "What are you doing here in my room?" Horace replied, "I was about to run." Horace replied, making a fun, "I was about to run." Then she said, "I would call the police then." Horace quickly replied then, "I would cut telephone wires." But all the while Horace was in conversation with the lady, he requested the lady to let him go. Horace wanted to leave the place quickly. Horace just wanted to get away from that place as early as possible. But the woman became serious and her voice turned sharp. She said, "If I leave you, you would rob another house." But Horace smiled and became polite. Horace said politely, answered politely, replied politely, "I steal for a very good reason." Horace answered in a convincing way. He said, "I steal for a very good reason." At this point, the young woman began to laugh. She laughed, but Horace begged and requested her to let him go. Horace Danby requested the young lady again and again. Horace again tried to convince her and said, "I promised never to do this kind of thing again." Then the lady took a cigarette, and at that very moment, Horace Danby put off his gloves quickly and eagerly gave her his lighter. Horace Danby offered his own lighter very quickly and eagerly, just to please her, just to convince her. Horace was eager to please her. He wanted to convince her in every way so that he could save himself from any kind of legal action. Eventually, the lady was convinced and she told Horace Danby that she would let him go, she would leave him, she would allow him to leave this place only on one condition, that is, he must open the safe. He would have to open the safe for her sake. She said, she made it clear, before we left for London, I promised my husband to take my jewellery to our bank to keep them in lockers, but I left this jewellery here in the safe. She added, I want to wear this jewellery for a party tonight, but I have forgotten the number to open the safe. So the young lady framed a false story so that she could get the safe opened by Horace Danby, and out of fear for legal action, out of fear for prison, Horace Danby quickly and eagerly opened the safe for the young lady. The lady also said, Don't worry, my husband will not be here for a month and I will have mended my safe by that time. So dear students, here you must understand that this young woman was clearly befooling and tricking Horace Danby so that she could steal all the jewellery available in the safe. After all, she was also a smart thief. Finally, Horace Danby went out of the house. He was happy, he was satisfied, he thought happily that he was now safe. But it was unfortunate and bad luck to Horace Danby that after the event of unpleasant meeting with the young woman, on the third day by noon time, police arrested him for the charge of jewel robbery at Shotover Grange. In fact, his fingerprints were imprisoned all over the safe because he had opened the safe without gloves. So these fingerprints became the evidence of robbery done by Horace Danby. The real owner of the house, in fact the real owner of the house, the real wife of the owner of the house had returned to her house from London, and she had registered a complaint in police station, and taking action on this complaint, police arrested Horace Danby. But to his surprise, to his amazement, Horace Danby was still not able to understand how he was tricked and deceived by young woman. Now, under the punishment in the prison, Horace Danby is working as an assistant librarian. But he often thinks of the charming, clever young lady who was in the same profession, who was also a thief as he was, and how she tricked him. He gets very angry when anyone talks about honor among thieves. That's the end of this story. Thanks for watching this video. Make your comments. I would welcome your valuable suggestion. And at the same time, I would like you to see and watch carefully all the word meanings and complete chapter notes given in the description box. Please do watch for your benefit. And if it really helped you, please like and share this video and also subscribe it. Thanks a lot.